Hi there, Tenzi here. Today we'll make the world's easiest shawl. All you need to know is either to purl or to knit, nothing else. You don't even need to know both of the basic stitches. One of the stitches works. So it's a great project to perfect your skills and you just create something beautiful at the end that you can give as a gift, keep, or even sell. So look at this. It's a triangle shawl. It's quite a shallow triangle shawl. And the reason for that is the rate of increase here. We're increasing very fast in order to get that little depth here of the shawl. So that is the secret to it. You can use any colors you want, any yarn you want. There's really no requirements for yarn or needles for this shawl. You can use whatever you want. It's a great stash buster if you have a lot of small pieces of yarn. You can mix a couple of colors and make melange colors. There is no gauge you have to make. There is no swatch you need to make. You just start knitting. That's all. Or purling if you know how to purl only. In any style you can knit. Continental or Portuguese or whatever, it works for everything. So let's give it a try and let's get started. The yarn I used is actually a cake, and I'll put a picture of it because I don't have the label anymore. And I just used one cake, and I expected this cake to have those colors transition into each other much better, but it didn't. So I could have done those colors myself without having a cake, but still it worked beautifully, and I like the combination of colors a lot. So let's see how it's done. Let's start. At the beginning, you don't need long needles, so just a small one or even double pointed needles will work. And we start pretty easily. You just do a slip knot at the beginning, and then wrap your yarn around your finger, and when you twist it, put that loop through your hook. You do it for a total of 3 stitches, and you do it one more time. So you have the slip knot, and then you have 2 twisted loops. And these are your beginning stitches, and that's all that's to it. So you can start, and you can knit both sides and you will get the garter stitch, or you can purl both sides and you still get the garter stitch. All right, so we will pick the first one. We'll just slip it. We are not gonna need that. And then we'll need the second one, and we'll need the third one. And that's the first row. Then we turn, and at the beginning of this row we put 3 new stitches. So you twist it around your finger, and with your hook you put that first loop on your needle, and then you twist it one more time around your finger and put that loop on your needle, twist it one more time around your finger and put the new loop there as well. So you have 3 new loops, and that's it. So you again slip the first one off and then knit till the end. Those first 3 stitches are always a little bit fiddly, but try to make them tight, and then you knit through the rest of them. And that's the whole repeat. You turn, and then you put 3 new stitches at the beginning, so you increase at the beginning of each row, and then you just knit till the end. It's a pretty mindless project, and it's very easy to carry around. So 3 more new stitches at the beginning, You slip the first one off, and then you knit the rest. And that's the whole pattern. And because the rate of increase is so big, it grows really fast, and it grows into a shallow shawl, but in the shape of a triangle. And that's all that's to it. And then when you have enough stitches, you can switch to needles that have longer cable. And I actually have the same size with that are like 47 inches. So these are the needles I'm switching, so I can accommodate all these stitches because this grows really fast. So that's how it is, because you add 3 stitches only at the beginning of the row. And that's just a very easy pattern, and both sides are exactly the same. So I'll meet you actually at the last row where we have to cast off, because there is nothing else to the pattern. That's it. All right, see you in a bit. So here's what I got. I'm a little bit disappointed in this yarn. I expected to have some gradient transition between the colors, but it worked as well because this project is such a great stash buster. You can add as many colors as you want. You can make it as long as you want. My 47 inches long cable needles could not anymore hold all the stitches straight, so they're a little bit bunched up, but you can tell it's getting quite long there. And I'm almost done with my yarn. I have probably just enough to cast off, or maybe for just one more row, because when I was counting the rows here, I had 9 ridges of garter stitch. Here I got 7, 5, or were they like 11, 9, 7, 5. So since I already have 3 garter rows here, I probably have for one more and a cast off. I cannot tell, but it's the combination of colors are just beautiful. I just love those 2 colors because of that green and that blue. That's why I got these colors, and I think it's turning beautifully. And you can see here the transition of the colors made that type of transition, but that's okay. When you wrap it around your neck, or it's in your jacket or coat, that really does not matter, but those colors are so pretty. All right, so we are ready to cast off now, and then we'll measure how long is the shawl. Okay, so let me grab some yarn here, ready on my side, and there we go. We will knit 2 together. And then the new stitch we have on our right needle, it will go back onto the left. And you will tighten it lightly, not too much, because we don't want that last row to bunch the whole project. So we'll grab the last 2 stitches again. We'll knit them together. And then we'll put that new stitch into the left needle. All right, let's try again. So here's a close-up. We knit the 2 stitches together, and that new stitch we put back on the left needle, and there we already have. And then we knit the old stitch with one of the ones that are waiting on our left needle. We put it back, but don't tighten it too much. You still want it to have a movement. You knit both of your stitches again. You put it back. Okay, so we knit the old stitch with one of the ones that are waiting. We put it back, stitch, knit two together, return the new stitch on the left needle, and then grab two again, knit them together, and then we keep going till the end. And you can see here. Keep your tension uniform, so those stitches on top, they look the same size. Do not stretch them too much, do not tighten them too much. So just right. Make them just right. Okay, so down to the last 3 stitches. And of course you can purl and you can cast off, it's the same result. It doesn't really matter. So I did the math right, or I just got lucky. I have so little yarn left. That's all I have from the whole cake. So through the last stitch, I will grab the end, pull it through, tighten it, and cut it off here. So that's it. We are done. So that's how it looks like, our edge. So this is the side I was knitting and casting off, and this is the back side. So it still created a nice garter ridge here. And of course you can purl on both sides and you can still get the same effect. You can knit both sides and you can still have the same effect. That you need to know only one stitch, either the knit stitch or the purl stitch. So that's such an easy pattern and so beginner friendly. You can work through your stash with it. It is the world's most easiest pattern out there. And you can have a nice product at the end. All right, so let's measure it. So I'll fold it in two because it's quite long. And let's see what happens here. So here are my ends. Here is the top. All right. So it measures at 34, so 68 inches, or 87 times 2, 174 centimeters. All right, so 69 inches, 68 we said here, and that depth of the shawl, because it's pretty shallow, it's only 12 inches or 31 centimeters. So that's great. And I was a little bit disappointed because it was a cake. The yarn was in a cake form, so I expected to have smooth transitions over here, but it didn't, and this kind of defeats the whole purpose. I could have changed the colors myself. I didn't have to rely on a cake, but the colors are pretty and they work beautifully. So that's how my shawl turned out. You can make it with any yarn, acrylic, cotton, wool, and just one stitch, either purl or knit. And both beginnings of each rows you increase 3 stitches, and you can have your favorite increase, or you can just twist a couple of loops there and you have an increase. Okay, so I used a 4mm needle, size 4, but you can follow the recommendation of the yarn, and it's US 6. You can follow the recommendation on your yarn or be aware of your tension. I go a couple of sizes lower because my tension, when I'm not holding the yarn around my neck, my tension is pretty loose. So that's why I have those gaps sometimes here and there, because I was not aware of my tension. But once it's washed and it's ironed, and it will look great. And that actually gives the little character there. So here are the both sides. And what I liked here is that the beginning and the end, it started with the same color of yarn. So I'm thinking that if next time the color does not start and end like that, I will do it myself. I will leave some of the beginning yarn to put on top as well. Otherwise, this bottom makes it too wide compared to the other stripes. And this kind of gives it a nice end there. So it was a nice effect that they did. All right, so that's all for this shawl. And I hope you like the tutorial and you give it a chance and you try it. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, and go watch the other videos as well, because that helps the channel a lot. Don't forget to weave in your ends. And you go through the little ridges of your knit project. You go to the sideways. Don't go up, go to the side. Okay, it's all done.